Hey friends, my name is Pastor Brian and welcome to the Shift Round Table Talks. Yet another exciting conversation that we're going to have today. And allow me friends to give my opportunity to my panelists here to introduce themselves, starting over with the black man on the far extreme right.
The Black African Shifter, Munya. Hi.
Hi guys, I'm Samantha, I'm a shifter.
Hi guys, I'm Mrs. Pastor Bear.
Hi guys, I'm Lishman, I'm a shifter.
Alright, obviously we have a special feature today, and that is Mrs. Pastor Bay. Friends, what do we say to welcome her to this set? There's a reason why she's here today. Alright, and today we are here to have one beautiful and interesting conversation. And we are discussing what we decided to theme or title wife or husband duties on a girlfriend or boyfriend tender. Maybe let me take that again.
That's quite.
Let me take that again. Wife or husband duties on a girlfriend or boyfriend tender. Pastor Munya, what comes to your mind when you hear just that statement? We're trying to define what we want to talk about and lay the playing ground.
I think of a situation where I am still going out, right, with my girlfriend. Then perchance we visit her parents or her relatives. Then they start to treat me as if I am a son-in-law.
Okay.
I'm legally married to her.
Okay.
Like pastor and shepherdess babe.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Samantha, what do you think?
I think of being overzealous. In Shona they say zungu. That's what comes to mind. Yeah, I think of that word in terms of relationship. How far are you willing to go? How far are you going to go?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Mrs. Pastor Bain, what do you think? What are your thoughts? What comes to your head when we speak about this topic?
The misconception or ideologies that have been put by societal pressure where you start acting out stuff that's not your responsibility as a girl, because you know, if say Pastor Munya has a girlfriend now, there's pressure for him to introduce her at camp meetings and so it's pressure, societal pressure that causes people to act out responsibilities that are not theirs.
Okay, Lishman, help us lay the playing ground for the topic of
Okay,
discussion.
maybe just to add on to what they've already said. I'm thinking of a guy who is already acting like a husband to a girl, but they are not yet married.
All right. So maybe let me try and expand the playing ground so that we then begin to discuss some of these things. So we're talking about spending weekends at the guy's place, you know. I mean, you're doing stuff. I'm not saying this is wrong or this is right, but I'm addressing things that I want us to talk about, because we are addressing wife or husband duties, yet one is still a girlfriend or a boyfriend. So I'm talking about spending weekends at the guy's place, doing laundry for the guy, cohabiting with him, something like that. Cooking meals for him. You know, the guy knows as I go to work, I've got we meet somewhere. You give me my lunch box, you know, and then I go to work.
Making
dresses.
dresses.
Making dresses for the in-laws. Sleeping with him. Are you guys getting that? Yeah, sleeping with him, you know, managing his businesses, and the guys paying school fees for the lady and the family and all those things. Those are the things that I want us to discuss so that we see if what we are talking about are things that should be happening or things that should not be happening. So I think let's get the ball rolling. I'll throw it to Pastor Munya. And say, let's talk about this.
Pastor Moyo, this one is a serious issue. You see, I would have wanted to present this while it's standing.
Yeah.
Especially in the Shona culture, this is in Zimbabwe. You are somehow forced or compelled to go and show up at the girlfriend's place if you're a boy. As soon as they see you, maybe it's the aunt, right? They make sure, she makes sure you chop the firewood. You are now doing all these responsibilities that are supposed to be done by those you chop the firewood. All these are the other responsibilities that are, you know, that are supposed to be done by Vakwasha, the sons-in-law. There's a funeral. You are also supposed to go out there, dig the grave, whatever thing that carry the coffin, you know, all the contributions that are being done.
Why you're still there, Pastor Moon? I hear you are saying the ants then make you cut the wood, chop the wood, and you know you're digging the. Is it them who are out of nowhere picking you to begin doing these things, or there is something in you that has made you appear like a husband when you are just a boyfriend?
Number one, that's confidence. Number one, that's confidence. In every relationship, you are confident that we are going to make it. That's number one. But you have not yet made it. You have not yet crossed the Red Sea. But you are celebrating while it's still in Egypt, right? While you are still in Pharaoh's land. Number one. Number two, it's also something that has been, you know, that is continued in the Africans' in the Africans' minds. That whenever someone is still dating our child, that one automatically becomes our mkwasha. You know, this certain verse in the Bible says, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Now I've become evident.
So they're exhibiting a lot of faith. Let's hear what Samantha has to say.
Okay, I'm thinking of this dominant opinion that you have to check if a girl is wife material or she's girlfriend material and stuff. So the girl ends up feeling pressure to going the extra mile so that she can just show that
so it's an act of
wife
proving.
material. It's like you're trying to prove that, you know what, I'm this wife material, I can do this, you know, those kind of thing.
But it's maybe just a sideline.
Yes,
No,
that
this one is just a sideline. Do we have wife material and the other material will be what?
Oh, you can tell us. So
Oh,
you
okay.
can choose your wife.
No, I'm just trying to find out. You know that.
No, it comes back to what you said.
Yeah.
To the question that you asked. That is it necessarily the aunts and the relatives of your friend, or it's you? So we said number one, it's you. Then number two, the relatives themselves. They also want to check. Is he a real man? Is he going to take care of our daughter?
Yeah.
Is she a real wife material? Is she able to cook? They will be looking at how you cook. After cooking, are you also able to wash the cooking stick? Are you also able to do
All right, Pastor Boya.
Yes.
I think
It's an
Mrs. Pastor
examination
Ben
from Pastor
Ben.
Boya.
So I'll give Nyari and come over to Lishman.
My thing is to say, for starters, you're seeking approval in places where you don't need to seek approval. You're not married to this person. So there is no point of you proving that I can cook or I can wash, I can watch what. I'm only your girlfriend. So I think the whole girlfriend tender, wife tender, we're just putting pressure on ourselves for approval, for the boyfriend to approve me, for his relatives to approve me, for his mothers to approve me. It's like you're buying them with something so that they accept you, which I think that it's not necessary. If I had known that it was not necessary, because
Maybe let's give Lishman, because soon after Lishman, I want you guys to be prepared. I'll need a bit of testimonials here, so I'll start. So I'm going to break it up and give a testimony on man. Yeah, well, so Lishman, you start. You guys prepare. I would want just short testimonies on how you
Well,
you
these
tend
guys have already said a lot, but
Yeah.
I think there is time for everything. There are some things that I feel they might cause you to regret later if you do them at the wrong time. And this is what is happening to most youth. They are doing a lot of things that are, I can say, they are overindulgent. They are overdoing it. They're tapping on the wrong ground, if I may say. It's to an extent that when they later break up, or they cry, they really cry. Because they've done a lot, they've invested a lot of their time, of their resources, and even their hearts to people who can, at one point, just leave them.
but why are you making it sound like a bad thing?
To invest.
To invest.
Well,
because
it's-
sometimes, you want
You
to
genuinely
empower
want it to work.
you want to empower them so that by the time you, like what Munya was saying, by the time you make it, they are also at a certain level.
Okay, I do appreciate that giving or doing something good to another person is an act of love. It's actually something that follows when you love someone. But I feel there should be a limit to what you can do. For example, the pastor gave an example of cohabiting. Now, if you cohabit with your boyfriend, he has nothing else to see in you that would make him marry you, for example.
But
You-
you,
you
understand that
you-
you can
you-
save on rent.
Oh, but what I think what we are all agreeing here is we have a lot of things that we do that we are prematurely doing them.
Yeah.
For instance, the cohabiting part that you're talking about. I mean, I should still be stuck at my parents' home. If not parents' home, I should be stuck at my own flat if I'm working in town and whatsoever. And he should also be living on his own. And the idea of cohabiting is people are beginning to drink from systems that are not theirs.
That's it.
So I'm going to read a text, and you guys give me examples, eh?
You said you start.
Okay, all right, and I will give the first example.
Yes.
So Proverbs chapter 5 is from verse 15 down to 20. Very long text, but I'll read it through. It says, drink waters out of thine own cistern. Now, the idea of drinking water here is the idea of what you benefit when one is now married. So the idea of sleeping with a woman or sleeping with a man, it's a benefit. That's the water I get to benefit, that I drink when I'm married. The idea that I get my clothes washed, I benefit that when I'm married. And a whole lot of other things, you know, that the black text and all. So drink waters out of thine own cistern, and running waters out of thine own well. Let thy fountains be dispersed abroad, and rivers of waters in the streets. Let them be only thine own, and not strangers with you. That when I begin to eat here, drink the waters here.
Yeah.
You're eating.
Okay.
Eating.
All right. So when I begin to drink the waters here, the benefits I get from this relationship should be benefits that come only to me. Let thine fountain be blessed, and rejoice with the wife of thy youth. Let her be as the loving hind and pleasant roe. Let her breast satisfy you at all times. Be thou ravished always with her love. Now listen to this. And why will you, my son, be ravished with a strange woman and embrace the bosom of a stranger? Food for thought.
Okay.
So Pastor Moon, you started and we come this way. I want you to give us
Of course,
what you have done.
We'll come to the maybe to the experiences, these experiences as husband and wife. But now I'm still talking about maybe boyfriend or girlfriend versus relatives. The ground that we are treading on nowadays is very, very soft, such that if we are not clever or wise enough, we'll be titanic by life. We'll sink, right? You see, personally, I've passed that stage, or I've gone through the stage of chopping firewood because of my zeal and because of what they know. I've also gone through the stages of maybe sleeping at a girlfriend's house, all right? Their parents are there. They slaughter a big chicken, the family, especially the family one, the one which is big, 7 years old. I've eaten all those things. Then the following morning, because I also want to prove that I'm a man enough, I'll also take care of your daughter. Going to the cattle crow, right? Make sure I am shoveling the manure in there. I'm loading the cart just to prove that I'm a man, even if I'm not able to do those things. I've gone through the stages of also plowing, right? Making sure I also yoke the oxen, and I'm now plowing, so that it's only about proving. But guess what? It's not only one experience. That's why I say the ground that we're treading on is very, very soft. Nowadays, we jump from one relationship to the other, one relationship to the other. It's no longer biblical or cultural anymore. But now, from one to the next, as long as I'm
still doing the
overseas,
same things.
you are still doing the same thing. If you are not wise,
Right.
you are sinking.
Let's give it to Samantha. Samantha. We want experiences, guys. We want experiences.
Okay, I'm trying to think, but I don't think I've been in a position where I've done extra. But I can give an example. There was at the time I almost gave up all my pocket money just because someone had said that, you know what, my mom needs this money, and from where I am, I can't. Western Union is acting up, and I was really like, you know what, give me a number, so that I said. But then now that I'm thinking, I'm like, no, I was going the extra mile because I was trying to be that perfect, perfect girlfriend. Yeah.
Okay. No, so I think you guys have been on the blessed side. I'm trying to, no, because when I think of myself, man, I've paid school fees for siblings. I've paid school fees for siblings. Now, not only paid school fees, I've paid school fees for siblings. I remember I looked for a job for the other one, and I had to rent a place for her when she was starting to work, and I had to be buying medicines for the parents and stuff like that. but only for the person to then, someone just
To Titanic.
did me Titanic, we say somebody just came and got the girl pregnant and off she went, and that was it, and it was done. And guess what? I didn't learn. I got over it again, and then the second time I got on to it. This time around I did even more. I paid fees. I paid fees for the siblings. I opened a shop for the girlfriend. And she did whatever she did. I reopened the shop again for her. That by the time I opened the shop for her for the third time, that was my downfall financial.
I think you have to stop it there.
And guys, to be honest, when I begin to think about some of those things, I don't know whether I should call it foolishness or I think I would rather call it that I did not know what I was supposed to be doing at the time during the courting period. That we have things we are supposed to be doing during the courting period, but we do not know what we are supposed to be doing. Hence, we then do anything. We then do anything else. So by the time I got to Mrs. Pastor Bay, she didn't benefit much because I was already finished.
Sure, me guys, I've cooked at camp meetings. You know how at camp meeting you do fire, you get water. Because I make clothes, I've made dresses for a lot of women out there. Say, no, what does she need? Uniform here, Dockers. No, I can make her. I've went and stayed with my boyfriend's parents for 5 full days. Like, guys, that was serious.
She's on another
you
day.
know? No, but when you're in love, it was like I asked my parents said, oh, okay. And then I went there, it was like I needed them to accept me. Okay. So I was willing to go any lengths. But now when I look back, I wasted my time, guys. Like the way I was Titanic.
Lishman.
Okay, one other common experience is that we invest much into those people whom we term at that point our girlfriends or boyfriends, and forget our own parents. Sometimes we invest a lot of things in them, but forgetting people who really matter more at that particular time, which is quite common. There are a lot of youths who go around spending money, resources on their girlfriends, but not spending that much on their own parents or people who are more important.
That's your girlfriend is a 120 US Peruvian hair on her head.
Yeah, you see.
When your mother is
for those who return tithe, they end up not returning tithe, giving money to their girlfriend, which is quite a common experience to most.
Wow. Friends, I think we all agree that this is a real problem that we face as young people when we are still courting each other and trying to find out how best do we get to, because we are fighting for acceptance, like what Nyari was saying, and what Pastor Munya was saying. We are trying to find a ground of saying, I need to impress this lady. Not only her, but I also need to impress the family. And in so doing, we create very strong bonds that become difficult to break. That at the end of the day, when you are now married to Samantha, when you were actually playing Mkwenyana and Mkwasha at Nyari's home, it becomes very difficult for you to break that bond between you and Nyari's parents and siblings. You still remain there, Mkwasha and Mkwenyana and all. And at times it becomes difficult for them, your parents, to open up space for the new Mrora to come into place. The proper Mrora, the actual Mrora to come and take up this place. So I think, guys, we have come to a point where we need to... All right, yes.
Because in my experience, after we'd broken up with my ex-boyfriend, it took us another year to also now break up with family members. because his mother would still call me, and because I was infatuated, I was in love, I was like, no, he's going to see the light at the end of the tunnel. the parents see. So I think the ripple effects are more like the ripple effects go beyond just the two of you.
I just wanted to ask how they need to be set the limits. Is my boyfriend not supposed to buy me an iPhone 10 when he can afford it? Is he not supposed to buy me nice hair because he can afford it? What are we saying?
Okay, so this is where I wanted us to go now, to say, okay, so now we have mentioned that all of these things that people need to begin to benefit or enjoy when they are now married, what we term conjugal rights, the sex that we are enjoying before marriage. We need to be enjoying it when we are now married. Because the reason why most guys are no longer marrying the girls that they've been with for many years, then after 5-6 years, he just dumps you. 6 months down the line, he has married someone else. It is because he has no reason to marry you, because he has already enjoyed the tendering that you were giving him as a wife while you were still just the girlfriend. No, he can't just marry. He can't marry a wife.
The water and the sister.
You understand? Yeah, he can't marry a wife. He needs a girlfriend to marry so that can become the wife. And neither can the lady marry a husband already. She needs a boyfriend, one that she can marry, or she can be married to, and he becomes the husband.
He has been getting free milk and he's saying why
Why
buy
buy?
Yeah.
You know, why should
Why
buy the car when I can just be milking at any time?
Mm.
So all these things we are rendering and giving out to these gentlemen and to these ladies, we are giving things that actually should be benefits when people are now married. When one has won the tender, one should win the tender first, and then can begin to enjoy all these things. So what are we saying to young people? What are we saying to ourselves? What is it that, because now we have outlined a lot of don'ts.
Yeah.
So what is it that people should be doing when they are in courtship, when they are courting, preparing for marriage? What is it that they should be doing? Lishman.
Okay, I think one of the most important things that youths should be doing at that time is developing their own selves more than trying to invest in other people. At a time, there is time for everything. At that time, I think you should focus more on knowing your partner and developing yourself in preparation for the huge commitment of getting married. Because you run a risk of investing all you have in this someone who is going to dump you. Yet you're not developing yourself.
Okay. Yeah.
I also want to reiterate what Lishman is saying, that develop yourself so that you don't have to prove yourself, but you yourself are the selling point. That I don't have now to go and be, temaring money and stuff like that, because already to just say
You are a proof yourself.
you are a proof yourself, to say my daughter is dating Pastor Munya Savano. You don't have to do anything, but you have developed yourself already to a place where you say, oh yeah, I know him, he's very good, type of thing. But I also wanted to say that make haste slowly. One of my favorite writers says that. To say when you're courting someone, make haste slowly. Don't rush the processes. Take your time. Don't do anything that is outside of your control or anything that pushes you to what you can. If you want to take your girlfriend out or if you want to take your boyfriend out, well, do that. But don't do any husband duties like paying school fees.
Anyway, we will deal with that later. Pastor Moyo.
I wanted to say, Pastor Moyo, this concept of love is blind, falling in love thing, this concept is detrimental. When you fall in love, you are no longer yourself. When love is blind, you are no longer able to see what is going on. The Bible, when I read the Bible, it said, husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church and gave his life or laid down his life for it. The only person that you can die for in this world is your wife. As long as she is still a girlfriend, she is still an egg that is on the market. When you are still trying to touch it like tenderly and the likes, someone who is so aggressive will come and snatch it away, right? So as long as she's still a girlfriend, you are still a boyfriend zoned, girlfriend zoned, you have not yet paid lobola or the dowry or the bride price to a father. Don't go an extra mile of trying to act like a husband or a wife, right? I'm speaking from experience. This is detrimental because this world has gone vampirical. A lot of vampires are out there. They'll vampire a woman away from you, suck out the blood, and at the end of the day, she is used, reused, refused, and refused by life. You see? So be very, very careful because you are treading on soft ground.
Okay.
Samantha.
Oh, I just wanted to say that we should be wise. Jesus says, be wise as serpents, but harmless as doves. So I'm going to end up answering myself anyways. When you're courting, do what's within your limits. Don't overstretch yourself. Do something that you know that in the next 5 or 10 years, if you're not going to be with this person, you're not going to look back and cry about it. So if you can only afford taking her to Mambo's Chicken, take her to Mambo's Chicken. Don't borrow money around to take her to Belvedere's or Selmy Levy or whatnot. Just stay within your limits and be wise in everything that you do.
If you can't,
Samantha,
Yeah.
in Pastor's example,
Uh-huh.
what if he could afford to pay their fees? Is it still wise to say, even if you afford, should you? Because you were not borrowing when you were paying the siblings' fees, when you were investing in this girl's business. You could afford doing it, that's why you could do it. But should you be doing it as a boyfriend? I mean, my sisters should have benefited.
if I had been advised
If
better,
you had planned even so.
if I had been advised better,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I was going to do it.
Okay.
Especially in the way that I did it. That it was going to have limits. It was
Yeah.
going to have limits. And I possibly could be, somewhere in this life. But because of the decisions that I made, uninformed or ill-informed, then certain things had to
Pastor,
happen.
I just wanted to respond to the shepherdess question. This world is full of HBKs, shepherdess.
What
What are those?
These are heartbreak kids. So when they come to you, they are wolves that are hidden in sheepskin. Be very, very careful. Be wise as serpents, but yet humble as doves. You can try to do something, or rather do everything, but don't go overbound, because you are also susceptible to a heartbreak.
Right, Lishman, and we conclude.
Yeah, I wanted to say that as an example, the ability to make someone pregnant does not make you a father. Neither does it make you a husband. So even if you are able to do some of these things, it might not be the right time.
Yes.
You see, we have to follow the proper channels and do things at their proper time. We want to avoid all these heartbreaks, all the people complaining and what's not. They complain because they've done things at the wrong time. Let's just do them at the right time, and we won't cry later.
So friends, we are calling on a lot of young ladies and young men out there to come back to their senses and be reminded who they are, and they take the rightful position that they should be taking in life. That if you are still courting, be reminded you are not yet that person's wife. So don't allow them to do whatsoever they will around you, with you and within you, or else they will use you, reuse you until you have no use at all. So you need to be able to remain with that dignity within self, so that whosoever then marries you has ability of seeing value in yourself. I think the conclusion we are putting up to this matter, possibly maybe I can give you 30 seconds each. Please take up 30 seconds per individual to help us conclude on this very matter. Lishman, Mrs. Pastor Bay, 30 seconds.
Okay, the Bible says that Christ loved and gave, but I want to believe he was reasonable. It is not all the Godhead that died for us. It was only Christ. That shows us how reasonable we should be. Even if we love people, let us not suspend our senses.
Thank you.
Love people.
Nyari,
There is a time for everything. Make haste slowly.
Samantha.
Everything is permissible, but not all things are beneficial. Do what's beneficial at the moment, at the right time.
I'm calling all the African youths and all youth out there to think from the head. Don't think from below the belt, or think from the heart, but think from the head, because this world is full of HBKs, heartbreak kids and vampires out there. Always be cautious.
Wow. Friends, there you have it. We don't need any wives or husbands living on girlfriend and boyfriend tenders. If he really is serious about you, he is going to marry you rather than use you. If she is serious about you, she's going to ensure that she gets married to you rather than use the little that you have. I have a few books to recommend to you, friends, that I think will help you as you engage in this thing called courtship. Try a book called Letters to Young Lovers by Ellen G. White, one of my favorite authors, and another book called Messages to Young People. It's going to help you a lot, also written by Ellen G. White, and a local content book by Maureen Ngwenya, Best Before. Try that book, and I'm sure it's definitely going to help you out. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and comment down below the video. Remember, friends, to shift after God and shift out to your fellow man and shift in within yourself. Let us meet again next time as we deal with another episode.